The story begins with the introduction of Ake Nishino. She is a very famous actress who also balances her life as a student. She is rather popular in class and has many friends. The students all seem to like her as she is very friendly and nice to all of them. The horrible truth is that Akane is a very bitter and angry person inside. She hates everyone in her school and gets angry at them, but she does not show that to anyone. One of her main targets of anger is Minoru Kajino. He is a boy at school who does not interact with Akane ever, which makes her hate him even more. We also see that Kajino often carries a pretty heavy backpack with him. It's soon revealed that in that backpack he has a lot of weights which he uses to increase his strength and speed. It seems that there is something secretly going on with Kajino as he is planning something. One day, several criminals attack Nishino and kidnap her to an unknown location. The criminals have the plan to get a lot of money from her parents as ransom. They keep her in a dark warehouse as a hostage. Soon enough, a masked man jumps in to save her. It's revealed that this masked man is actually Kajino. It seems that Kajino actually wants to be a superhero, and that is why he has been training so hard. Kajino uses a codename called Stylish Ruffian Slayer as his vigilante name. As a masked hero, he uses 2 crowbars to attack the criminals. The criminals at first think he is weak, but soon they realize that he actually has some fighting skills and might be a problem. After a long battle, Kajino manages to beat up the criminals. This gang was called the Balaclava Berserker. He then frees Nishino. After some time passes, things return to normal. Nishino thinks that Kajino might be the person who saved her, but she has no clear evidence. One day, tragedy strikes as Kajino gets hit by a truck and dies. We then see Kajino's entire life from childhood all the way to his early death. Actually, Kajino did not want to become a hero, but an evil mastermind who controlled everyone. Kajino then gets reincarnated into a new world. This time he has magic powers. Kajino decides that he will finally get what he wants and start to control this new world. He decides that he now wants to become the Eminence in Shadow, the being that controls everyone. Keiju soon finds out that in this new world he is actually called Sid Keiju. He is a son of a smaller noble baron and Lady Keiju. He also finds out that he has a sister called Claire. Sid decides to continue his training just like he did back in his previous life. He begins to train and prepare without anyone knowing his secret. Soon he starts to become a vigilante and even kills some bandits. Sid soon finds a cursed creature that looks horrible. He uses his magic and manages to break the curse. It's then revealed this creature was just an elf girl. Sid decides to pretend like he is truly the Eminence in the Shadow, so he tells the young elf girl that she is actually a long-lost relative of a great hero. He makes up a story about a hero that killed the demon that was called Diablos, and now an evil cult plans to bring the evil demon back to life. It's all a made-up story by Sid, but the elven girl believes everything. The elf girl now wants to help Sid in saving the world, so she decides to join his group called Shadow Garden. Their main mission is to stop the evil cult and to save everyone in the kingdom. Sid decides to call the elf girl Alpha. He also thinks that Alpha is really stupid for believing his crazy made-up story. 3 years pass, and now Sid has created a true group. He has 6 other girls in his shadow organization. Suddenly, one day, his sister Claire gets kidnapped. Sid decides to use his new team to save her and find out who has kidnapped her. Soon after, they manage to investigate and find that the cult of Diabolos actually is taking Claire as a hostage. Sid thinks that the girls who are working in his organization are just pretending and that this entire scenario is just a game. In actuality, the cult is very much real and they are very dangerous. The cult of Diabolos plans to use Claire as a host body for their demon. Sid thinks he is hunting just ordinary criminals and takes his friends to save Claire. They manage to kill all the cultists and Claire gets saved. Claire escapes, but she does not know that Sid was the one behind her getting saved. Sid still has no idea what is truly happening. Soon he gets really bad news when Alpha and the other shadows in his organization tell him that they want to leave. Sid's secret organization falls apart as all the members go hunt the cultists all around the world. Sid thinks that they just grew bored of their games and left. He then goes to the same academy as his sister Claire. He decides that he will keep a low profile so that he does not attract a lot of attention. In the academy, Sid becomes friends with Poe and Skell, very ordinary boys who do not have a lot of friends. Sid gets humiliated as he is forced to pretend to be in love with Princess Alexia. He gets really shocked when Alexia actually wants to be his girlfriend for real. Alexia is actually engaged to be married with Zenon, a fencing instructor. Alexia does not want to marry him and wants her freedom. Sid decides to help Alexia get out of her marriage, but only if she pays him money. One day, Alexia and Sid practice their sword skills and she gets angry at him and leaves. After that, it's announced that Alexia has been kidnapped. Sid gets arrested because the investigators think he might have kidnapped her. While Sid gets arrested, we see what has happened with Alexia. She shares a cell with a mutated girl. It seems that the kidnappers want Alexia for her blood as it contains demon DNA. In the meantime, Sid gets beaten up by knights who think he kidnapped Alexia. Sid pretends to be really weak so that nobody recognizes his power. 5 days later, Princess Iris orders Sid to get released. Alpha returns and gives Sid an update on the cult. Sid is still convinced that this is all a game. Alpha actually knows that the cult is really powerful now and they control everything. Alpha organizes an army of 114 soldiers and decides to free Alexia. Sid also goes but thinks the corrupt knights kidnapped Alexia, so he kills them. The scientist takes Alexia's blood and puts it inside the mutated girl. The girl then becomes a crazy demon and kills the scientist. It's revealed that Zenon gave Alexia to the cult. Sid then appears to save Alexia. Zenon reveals that it was Sid who actually attacked his cult members. Also, it seems that Zenon is a very important member of the evil cult. The demon girl starts to destroy the city and Iris has to fight her. Alpha helps Iris defeat the demon and then she vanishes. Sid and Zenon fight and Sid is obviously a lot stronger. Alexia still does not know that Sid is under the mask and just thinks he is some sort of vigilante. Alexia seems really impressed by Sid's sword skills. Zenon then turns into his demon form, but Sid creates a magic bomb and kills Zenon very quickly. Alexia is saved and reunites with her friends. After the battle is over, Alexia wants to date Sid for real, but he refuses. Alpha starts to investigate a new group of problematic vigilantes. Sid also meets a mysterious girl that has pink hair. It seems that there is another Shadow Garden group and they are killing people. The girl with the pink hair is actually named Sherry and she is a researcher. Iris brings Sherry an ancient relic so that she can find out what the cult is planning. Sid meets up with Gamma, one of the members of his shadow organization, and it's revealed that she has created new Shadow Garden operations all over the world. Sid is still totally confused and thinks it's all a big game. New is the newest member of the Shadow Garden. After school, Sid saves Alexia from a bunch of attackers. He kills all of them without a problem. Sid and his friends get into trouble when they use chocolate candy for romance. One of his friends actually get arrested. Sid gives the remaining chocolates to Sherry. She later is convinced that he has confessed his love to her, so she decides to talk with him. New goes to talk with Sid and tells him that she tortured the murderer Sid captured. It seems that this attacker was part of the cult and is actually an orphan that is being mind-controlled by drugs and magic. We are then introduced to Rex, one of the cult's assassins. He is in the city searching for his new target. Sid becomes part of a sword tournament in school. His friends put him inside the tournament so that he can impress the girls. Sid is not interested at all, but has no choice. Sid has a duel with Princess Rose and pretends to be really weak. He still does not want to reveal his powers. Sid loses on purpose and pretends to be injured. Rose is actually really impressed how strong Sid is in battle. After a while, Sherry goes to talk with Sid and tells him that they should be friends before they officially date. Sid has no idea what is happening and just decides to ignore her in the future. Alexia still pretends that she does not care about Sid, but she is actually really jealous because other girls are interested in him. We are introduced to Gaunt Knight, the leader of the fake Shadow Garden. He decides to attack the academy and all of its students. Rose gets hurt in the attack and Sid tries to save her from the upcoming attacks. And that is part 1 of the Eminence in Shadow. Thank you so much for watching. Part 2 will be coming out shortly.